Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Friday! Yay! It is finally here. But you know what? It's going to be cold this weekend. Damn, I hate that. I can't stand it. But you know what? I still don't have socks on. No, I don't. I do not. I'm going to put one of those foot masks on. I'm going to paint my toenails, and then just put some slippers on. They look like flip-flops, but they're slippers. Got some football this weekend, got some food. I've been cleaning the house. I kind of have the fall cleaning going on. Shonda said, I'm not ready. Well, Shonda, are you ready for this? Because I'm about to sign you up for a protest in Payne County on December 8th. We'll talk about it during the show. Let's go ahead and tell everybody good morning. And by the way, good morning to everybody except for Jesse Mack Butler and his mama, because Jesse, you have pissed off the whole state. Woo! Joanne, it's supposed to get down to 20 Monday night. Hey, Joanne, you said you were making meatloaf today. How do you make your meatloaf? Like what kind of sauces and vegetables and everything do you use? I'm always looking for a good meatloaf recipe. I had one, it was a cheeseburger meatloaf. It was good, but it kind of grossed me out because it tasted just like a cheeseburger. Okay, let's get to Jesse Mack Butler. Like I said, he's pissing everybody off. Okay, right here, outside of Oklahoma State University. This happens to be a dude standing there saying justice is negotiable if your daddy worked for Oklahoma State University. Woo! Many signs like that. All of this was going on outside of the courthouse. So proud of all the high school students that showed up and all the passerbys honking and yelling their support. Jesse Butler, remember that name. Support our girls. They deserve justice. Stillwater should be filling this block right now. We are here until 3 p.m. Come support your fellow citizens and let them know we have their back. Now, like some other protests you see on the TV, like the No Kings protest, okay? These people aren't getting paid. They're getting off work, and they're walking out there in their work clothes, yelling, saying, no, we're not doing this. Now, this bitch, Susan Worthington, her family has run the town for a long time. I don't exactly know how she's going to go forward after all this, because there's no hiding it. Let's look at your comments from the last show. And I understand that this hasn't caught, and there's not a lot of people that give a shit about what's going on in Oklahoma, but we do. Because our girls need to be protected. Daughters need to be protected. There's been a big change, I'd say, in the last 10 years to where we always know women are not going to be treated like men, and we shouldn't, okay? Unless you do the exact same job. I kind of like a society where someone opens the door for me and says, treats me like a woman. What is going on here is absolutely disgusting. Let's look at your comments. Woo! V. Oakley took the words out of my mouth. She said, this is the type of stuff that causes decent, law-obeying citizens to take matters into their own hands. She said, and I don't blame when they do. At this point, if these young women and children were mine, I'd have to say that guy needs to hide. Oh, he's hiding. He's hiding. He's hiding. He's not showing his face. And I'm not talking about vigilante justice, but I'm really surprised one of the daddies or big brothers hasn't found his fat face. Okay, I plead the fifth, said Brooks. I don't know how I feel about them airing all the girls' quotes all over the news. I know I wouldn't want anyone to know. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't want everybody knowing my business. But, you know, it's unfortunate. You know, they redacted names. They put maybe the kids at school already knew. And I just really hope that the girls are being taken care of. Mindy is from the area. She said, I will tell you about Stillwater Police Department as well. My daughter had been going through a rough time in life. She came to me one night and said, Mom, I'm having unaliving thoughts. I took her to Stillwater ER. ER tells me they would find an inpatient place for her to go and get evaluated. Me and her both agreed. She said, now, mind you, my kiddo was 12 at the time. The ER called the police department. Police department came and shackled and handcuffed my daughter like a criminal. Walked out of the ER through the waiting room in front of a lot of people there like a criminal and had to ride handcuffed and shackled all the way to Tulsa inpatient. The inpatient place wasn't any better. A girl my daughter got acquainted with was crying for her mom and waited to call her mom. My daughter said 2 male nurses dragged her off to a room and locked her in there for hours. Said you could still hear her crying for her mom. Okay. We got a lot of work to do. Eileen, hang on. She said, Brooks, people don't get paid to protest. That's BS propaganda, in my opinion. I just know that we had a protest here recently, and these people came from all different areas of the country, and they got arrested for different things, and they were paid to be here. I'm just apples and oranges. I'm just saying this right here is people that are very in tune with what's going on in their community. Okay, right there in Stillwater with Jesse. So here's a little friendly reminder to the body cam footage. Okay, body cam footage. This is a mother. I'm not talking about paid protesters. I'm just explaining that this is a protest about people that are truly concerned about what's going on in their community. Now watch the mama. She makes me almost as mad as Jesse and the judge.
We're ready to obviously tell our story too.
Yeah. She goes, oh, we need someone to tell our story too. Uh-huh. Now there's 2 victims. There's 2 victims. A third will not come forward. I do not blame her. And rumor has it, there's others. Now, do you want to hear some of Worthington's reasoning for, I'm just going to say, putting this under the rug? The girls continued to talk to him. Well, they go to school together. I'm sure he was holding a lot of things over their head. You see, the story is not all the way out yet. And these girls have a lot to go through. Thank you, Shonda. Shonda goes, you're the story of your sadistic son. And I apologize. I shouldn't have brought up the paid protest or not paid. I'm just saying these people are very in tune with their community and they are pissed. They are pissed. And it takes a lot to get an Okie out to do something like this. That is the truth. Shonda, raise your hand. Tell them. When we get off work, we want to go home. We want to eat. We want to watch TV and go to bed.
Jess, it's Mom. Open the door.
That's your house, bitch. Jess, it's Mom. Open the door. That's your house. He's got to let you in.
It's me.
And if you'll just have him step out.
Okay. Give me your wallet and phone and stuff. So, okay. Your what?
They're in the car.
It's in the car. Hey, Okie High.
Okay, it's fine. It's not locked or anything, is it? Okay. So, can you tell him what you just told me, or?
Yeah, so we're here. We're obviously going to place you under arrest. There's a warrant for your arrest. We're going to take you to the jail. I told your mom that she can contact a bondsman, and you shouldn't be there very long, but there just is a process for paperwork and stuff. But right now you do have to come with us, and I do have to put you in handcuffs, so turn around for me.
You have to put him in handcuffs?
There's warrant for us anytime we transport somebody into custody.
Hold up. You know we're gonna win this. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll get you out. For me?
Eileen, comment of the day so far. Thank you, Eileen. And by the way, I love that song. Every time I see her name, I go, come on, Eileen. And on the flip side, we know that there are some girls that have told some tall tales, okay? Tried to ruin boys' lives. You know, I have 3 sons. Had to watch it all the time. Y'all can sit here and watch a movie. Let me talk to her parents. You know, shit gets sideways real quick. But in a case like this, there is medical evidence. And Mama's crazy, thinking she's going to protect him from going to jail. She is a sicko. She is a sicko, and she created this.
It's okay.
Let me tell you what, if someone had taken a ball bat to his ass, she would be pounded down the courthouse. Somebody would be in jail.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get you out. For me?
I'll get you out. You hear me? I'll get you out. You hear me? Whoa.
All right, stay silent. Rick knows about this. Candy's on this. Dad's on his way. We're coming to get you, okay? Stay strong, okay? Say your prayers.
Yeah, say your prayers. Shonda, another great comment. Shonda said she should be arrested for accessory. Because you can't tell me that she wasn't covering a lot of stuff up when all this hit. This was the talk of the town. Not a big town, but a lot of people.
Okay, so he's going to go right to the city of Stillwater jail, and if you'll just contact her, then she does this all the time. She knows what to do.
Yeah.
Make sure
Okay.
she knows Stillwater Police Department, not county.
Stillwater Police Department
Yeah.
on Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let them know that
perfect.
we're the ones that picked him up.
And
They
when
don't-
you say we are the ones.
Stillwater PD.
Stillwater PD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She is the Roberta Laundry of Oklahoma. Okay? She is the Roberta Laundry of Oklahoma. She knows the heinous acts he is accused of doing. She knows there was a girl in the hospital. What does she say? I'm going to get you out, and Rick knows about this. We already have an attorney waiting in the wings because we knew this was going to happen.
The ones
On
that-
Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let them know that
perfect.
we're the ones that picked him up.
And
They
when
don't-
you say we are the ones.
Stillwater PD.
Stillwater PD.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way they don't think he went like straight over and he's over at the county.
Awful experience for a child.
Ready to go past there. Make that chart. Gonna pat you down and spread your feet for me. Nothing in your socks.
That's Jess. See you that.
Loser. Loser. So people ask all the time. This is from KJRH. By the way, I reached out to Erin Christie. She's my favorite news reporter around here because she just goes straight to them. Man, she does not care. She's been in jail for contempt of court before. You name it. She's going to get her story. And I reached out to her and she said, we are covering it, but not me. They need to get her on it. Wait, what? She just said a horrible experience for a child. A horrible experience for a child. Is she not sick? She is a sicko, man. So with 80 years looming over him as an adult, because I agree, adult actions deserve adult consequences. He was 16, 17 at the time. He knew what he was doing to the point he kept doing it. This is not something that happened with one girl, as if that wouldn't be bad enough. He continued doing it. He is a sexual sadist is what he is. You see, that little pecker underneath his fat belly, it can't get enjoyment until he inflicts pain. He can't have a normal relation with a girl without doing something bad. Restraints, strangulation, uncomfortable insertions. He's a sicko. He's not going to stop. He can't, let me put it this way. He can't get off without something violent happening to a girl. Okay? But they deemed him a youthful offender. Why? Because his dad used to be part of the athletic department at Oklahoma State University. His mom works for Oklahoma State University. And the Worthingtons basically run Payne County. So they said, well, better keep your nose clean and you better go to therapy once a week. And they say, it's a very intensive therapy. It's a very intensive therapy there in Payne County. They are sitting there reading the 10 Commandments and everything. It is a very, very intensive therapy that he is going through. I'm telling you, they are throwing the book right at him. He is learning the ways now. He understands. You don't stick ball bats nowhere. You put them in your hands and you hit the ball. No.
2 News following a case in Stillwater that's gained widespread attention on social media. A high school student's pleading no contest to several rape and domestic assault charges.
Jesse Butler was arrested back in March on 10 rape-related charges involving 2 underage girls. Investigators say the crimes happened over multiple months in 2024 when Butler was around 17 years old. Victim statements from both girls say Butler forced them to perform sexual acts, and both say Butler strangled them to the point of unconsciousness. The case now sparking outrage online after prosecutors reclassified him as a youthful offender despite initially charging him as an adult. I talked with Kimberly Jantz with the Tulsa County DA's Juvenile Division about how that process works.
This chick wouldn't do that. I can tell you right now. She's giving an outsider's opinion when she basically has a similar job, but she's in Tulsa County, not Payne County.
And what factors can lead to such a decision?
This is an area of law that is incredibly complicated. The biggest factors are what was the crime and what is the age of the defendant.
Jantz didn't speak specifically about Butler's case since it didn't happen in Tulsa County, but says the most significant change that can come deals with sentencing. Butler originally sentenced to 78 years in prison.
78 years. To be quite honest, we would have never heard about this if they would have suspended, let's say, 50 of them, okay? He would have served 18 and been out in 10. Nobody would have known. I'm telling you, nobody would have known. Wouldn't have thought about it. because of his age. Just, it wouldn't have been a thing. I'm just telling you. I'm not saying it's right. It just wouldn't have been a thing like this. But to do the youthful offender and nothing happens is sick.
That changes as a youthful offender, or YO.
Wanting to do the YO aspect gives you the possibility of rehabilitating yourself before having to serve a long sentence in the Department of Corrections.
We reached out to the Payne County District Attorney, Butler's attorney, and the Office of Juvenile Affairs, but haven't heard back. I'm TJ Eckert with 2 News Oklahoma.
Way to go, TJ. Okay. What the Butler family and the Worthington Empire, which is kind of like the Murdaughs of Payne County, weren't expecting is a politician, I'll say. I'll just put it that way. Here in Oklahoma, that is not having it. There's always a Kool-Aid man somewhere around here. And I have reached out because I want him to also expose what happened in Prague, Oklahoma to Alana Raffield. All right, people are saying that he is causing this because it's an election year, blah, 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 blah. No, all those people got out there to gather, to yell, and they invited Justin Humphrey. He has been after the Department of Corrections. He has been after so many people in this state for so long, and he went out there and he turned on the camera and he let people know to come on out.
On the Payne County Courthouse lawn with a large group of protesters. Guys, this is how you get it done. This is how you get your government back. This is how you hold your government accountable. These people are here to rally to talk about getting a grand jury. We've already had a bunch of people volunteer to get to have petitions signed, carry petitions. Guys, we're going to get a grand jury here. It's time that we hold this court system. It's time we hold our government accountable. We can't let abusers walk the street while we lock up people who report abuse. Guys, this has got to stop. It's right here. We plant the flag right here. This is ground zero. This is not just about Payne County. This is about Oklahoma. We're calling it all out. This is going on all around Oklahoma, and it's time to stop. We're going to get it done right here in Payne County. Y'all stay tuned. It's going to get lively, and we're going to get her done. Y'all have a good day.
Okay. Now, there's always a naysayer going, well, you know, it's just because it's an election year. No, he's been doing this for a long time. He wanted a whole list of all the social workers in Oklahoma because he wanted to understand what was going on with our first foster care system. This was back in the summertime.
With our report, Appleseed. And in that meantime, guess who gets resigned? The director of the Department of DHS, Deborah Shropshire.
She resigns when he said he wants all the names of all the social workers that have dealt with all these kids. She resigned. That's Department of Human Services. That's who's over all the children's and the elderly people.
Resigns.
Which is my weak spot. The shit in the middle can take care of themselves. Don't mess with the elderly, and damn sure don't mess with the kids.
About 2 weeks before we come out publicly with all this. She resigns, maybe even a week. It was 2 weeks, 1 week. She resigns. Now we're going to show you what the swamp looks like. So guess who? There's a guy over there named Carmel, I think, who used to work for the governor, who is now was over OJA, which is the Oklahoma Juvenile Affairs. Okay. Now, if you want to look at this Tulsa detention center where the feds come in and raided the Tulsa detention center, guys, listen to me. for the feds to come in and raid a detention center that is in Tulsa. So this is a cooperative thing. Tulsa, DHS, OJA, OCCY, all of them are over. For the feds to come in and raid that, you got to have some way powerful evidence, or they would not come in and raid that. For them to come in and do a search warrant, raid this facility, you know they've got a lot of stuff or they wouldn't have done it. So here they come in. Now we get evidence showing that all of these agencies knew this was going on, covered it up, trying to cover it up, and did nothing. Okay. Now the DHS director resigns. Who do you think they put over DHS? Carmel. It's the guy that was over OJA. Now, let me ask you, if you are coming after, and we are saying all of these agencies knew this, did nothing on it, OJA was the agency they raided, why would you take the director of OJA and put him over the bigger DHS when he's one of the ones you should be looking at the hardest? You want to talk about the swamp? They just take one out. That person, I promise you, that resigned will be working for some big. That didn't hurt them. Okay. That was just another move. That was a lateral move across wherever they'll end up. And I can take you and show you every one of them.
Yeah.
That's a lateral move. Yeah. And then here comes this guy, governor's friend. Bam. We're slapped. And what changed? And go look at what he said. We always support any efforts to do anything that will help the state of Oklahoma. We support helping children, blah, 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 blah. And everything we issue. Now, this guy could ask for an investigation on his own. Anybody that has that much, if I was the director, guess what? I'd say, y'all come in. We want to clean it. If there's something wrong, please come in. I will work with you to fix it. Come on in. I'll sign the stuff to bring you in. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's what a person of integrity would do.
All right. Now, I'm not big on petitions and I'm not big on protests for lots of reasons. One, I am a lazy person sometimes. Okay? Mike's not lazy. Look at that. Mike left me a super sticker. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for supporting the channel. You have no idea how much that helps. You have no idea. So I'm going to put this little link in here. Okay? Now, I don't expect anybody to get on their little airplane and come into Tulsa International and go to Payne County on December 8th. But if you could please go to that link and put that you are interested, I would much appreciate it. Mine looks different because mine says going. All right? Because me and Shonda are going to be there, and Greg is going to take us to Eskimo Joe's because I want some chili cheese fries. Thank you so much, Mike. So if you look at that link, I would much appreciate it. All right, so he is calling for a grand jury, my friends. A grand jury. He wants all this looked into.
A state lawmaker is calling for a grand jury to investigate Oklahoma's judicial system. Representative Justin Humphrey points to recent court rulings and judicial misconduct as signs that public trust may be at risk. News Channel 8's Christina Santiago has more.
Representative Justin Humphrey, who is a former law enforcement officer, says he usually stands with police, but a federal court ruling in Wagner County, along with a reprimand of an Oklahoma judge, has him urging the state attorney general to take action.
Hold on real quick. Shonda, send me a message. Do you know where it's at? Because I don't, so I'm going to need your help. Angel P, thank you so much for gifting Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Triggered AH got one. Nikki P, Summer Thunder's back. Magic Dance and Just Bell is back. Speaking of, I got to throw a Thanksgiving cactus in there.
The state attorney
welcome new members.
Attorney General to take action. The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals recently ruled that Wagner County deputies accused of using excessive force during the 2019 arrest of Jeffrey Kruger cannot claim qualified immunity. Kruger died following that arrest, and his family's lawsuit can now move forward. In a related matter, the Oklahoma Supreme Court publicly reprimanded Special Judge Emily Mueller, finding her behavior biased, rude, and unprofessional in her courtroom. Humphrey says these cases, along with other concerns about Oklahoma's judicial system, highlight the need for a system-wide review, something a multi-county grand jury could provide.
All we're asking them is to keep the rules that they're supposed to make sure that are enforced and that we have. That's called democracy. That's called freedom.
Humphrey is asking the Attorney General to convene a multi-county grand jury.
Hold on. Tainted Ties and Tiara said she'll be there most definitely. Send me an email, cll72020@gmail.com, and me and Shonda will meet up with you. I'm bringing the hot cocoa. Shonda's bringing the hot hands and toes, because I forgot it's December in Oklahoma. It's going to be too cold for Brooks.
Need for a system-wide review, something a multi-county grand jury could provide.
All we're asking them is to keep the rules that they're supposed to make sure that are enforced and that we have. That's called democracy. That's called freedom.
Humphrey is asking the Attorney General to convene a multi-county grand jury to investigate these cases and potentially other issues in the judicial system. We'll have more details on this story coming up at 10. Reporting in Tulsa, News Channel.
We need a grand jury, and I'm glad he's getting it done. V. Oakley said, I read Shonda's message as hot hams. Well, you haven't met Shonda. Shonda's my hot ham. Yes, she is. You know, it's about time someone lit a fire under these people, and I'm loving it, because it can't just be us. Right, Shonda? Right, Tainted Ties and Tiaras?
A judge's decision to give no jail time to a Stillwater teen convicted of rape and strangulation. We're talking about Jesse Butler. He was 17 at the time of the crime. He pled no contest and was actually sentenced to 78 years until a judge then granted him youthful offender status. Now Butler is only required to attend a year of counseling and complete community service hours. Protesters are calling now for accountability.
Have a 78-year sentence dropped down to a youthful offender with only 150 hours community service. Is a slap in the face to women in general.
There's no way that he should be free to roam our communities.
She's right. To women in general. And no, he should not be free to roam the community. Look at him. Look how he showed up to court. Sitting there in his sunglasses and his mom, and I guess it's his sister. Is that his sister, Shonda? Standing there. You know what? Had that happened to his, I'm going to just guess it's his sister, they wouldn't be acting this way. They'd have some dude's dick on a platter. Okay? They'd be wearing that dude's balls for earrings. No way would they just let it go away. No way.
Dropped down to a youthful offender with only 150 hours community service. Is a slap in the face to women in general.
There's no way that he should be free to roam our communities. We believe that the community is in danger.
Butler is due back in court in December for a check-in. We'll be following from Stillwater.
Well, they'll be following on December 8th. That's for sure. That is for sure. Now, one of my favorite channels on the YouTube, I'm a big fan, and a lot of you are too, and I'm going to reach out to him because I would love for him to come on this show and talk about this, but it is Stock Market Steve. Yep, he's had some run-ins with the law. He's had he's had some things go on in his past, and you know what? He's paid for them. He has paid for them. He has hit the accountability bell. Let me put it that way. He's a really good guy. Really good guy. And look, he has no skin in this game. I'm not really saying I do. But his name is Stock Market Steve. And he is all over this. Check him out. Give him a like. I'm going to do a like right now. Speaking of, has everybody liked this video? Your old buddy Brooks needs as much help as she can get. Woo! I've stepped in it the last couple months.
Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another 7 o'clock premiere. If it's your first time stopping by the channel,
hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't. And he's vicious. And
okay, sorry, I skipped ahead too much. He's right. Jesse Butler is vicious. Now, Worthington can play it all she wants, acting like this is just a boyfriend-girlfriend breakup. They were fumbling around in the back of the car and things got out of hand. No, no, and no. He is vicious, okay? He is vicious. Like I said, he is a sexual sadist. My opinion, that is, okay? He cannot have regular relations with a female, okay? He might be homosexual. And no, I'm not picking on anyone that's homosexual. And he can't deal with it. And he's taking it out on these girls. There's a lot going on in that little noggin of his. Payne took the words out of my mouth. He is another Kevin Underwood. And I did a show about him. He's been put to death since. There is not enough therapy in the world to make Jesse Mack Butler to redo his wiring. He is a violent individual, okay? Now, if I had it my way, I'd put him on a blind date with Shonda, and he would learn all about date rape. Because Shonda beat the fuck out of him. She'd wipe that baby fat right off of him.
March, this guy was sentenced to roughly 78 years in prison for doing 2 egregious crimes of a sexual nature of 2 young ladies that he formerly dated.
Let me ask Shonda something real quick, and I don't want her name. Shonda, how old did your daughter just turn the other day when she was at the Canes? How old did your daughter turn? 18? Isn't that right? Could you imagine her not knowing about this and saying that guy was at the Canes and she met a guy named Jesse? Yeah, right there. Right there. In that age group. Remember, he's walking amongst us. He won't have anything to do with me.
This guy is cruel and he's vicious. And he got a slap on the wrist from the justice system. Now, the families are coming out and speaking about him. But before we get to that video, let's go back a little bit and talk about how this whole thing was started and what this animal did. Take a look.
3 charges of rape by instrumentation, and you'll have to use your imagination about what that means, but yeah, it is literal. 1 count of sexual battery, 1 count of forcible oral sodomy, 2 counts of domestic assault and battery by strangulation, and 1 count of domestic assault and battery. And while there were even more and way bigger charges that the state likely could have thrown at this kid, like attempted murder, the 2 alleged victims and their families had every reason to believe that the wheels of justice were hard at work on this case, both for them and for the accused, Jesse Mack Butler. And before I tell you what ended up happening, let me tell you why he faced those specific charges, what he actually did to those 2 girls. You should know that these details are extremely graphic. They are despicable. But they are critical to this story, especially when you find out how the judge came down in this case. So fair warning, trigger warning, what I'm about to list out for you is very uncomfortable to say and to hear. A police affidavit says a girl who's identified only as LS because she's a minor dated Jesse Butler for about 3 months, starting in January of...
She's in a hospital room. This is not her bedroom. She's not taking a selfie from her room. This girl is getting medical attention after being around him. And the judge thinks Him learning the 10 commandments in his therapy once a week is going to change all this.
Last year, she was 16 at the time. And during that time, the victim said Butler repeatedly raped and attempted to rape her and would strangle her if she refused. The teenage girl needed surgery to repair the damage done to her neck by the strangulation. And her doctor told her that she would have died had that strangulation lasted another 30 seconds.
Now, this is where I get a little, well, actually, it's not petty. This is what needs to happen. They need to file a civil suit against Jesse Mack Butler, who, yes, was under 18 at the time. All of these medical bills need to be paid for, and then some, by his parents. You heard it here first. All of those medical bills, and there are a lot, and therapy for these girls need to be paid for. Not that it changes anything, not that it makes it that much better, but they need, every time they write a check, or they write one big check, or they have to mortgage their house or mortgage their RV or mortgage their boat, or they have to sell their dock slip over at Keystone Lake, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. They need, hey, he's a youthful offender. His parents need to pay for every single dime of the medical bills and their therapy. Okay? Keister Bunny gets another comment of the day. Give him an hour with Taylor Shabusiness. Woo! She like that. It's another CLL. If you know, you know.
The girl said that she gave in to Jesse Mack Butler because he threatened to kill her and he threatened to kill her family if she didn't give in. A separate affidavit says in March of last year, Butler took up with another 16-year-old girl identified only as KS. And that relationship lasted 6 months, but this teenager also said that Butler was aggressive and violent with her and says she went along with all the unwanted sex to avoid being hurt further. This victim also said that one time when she did refuse, Butler strangled her too. But get this, he recorded himself strangling her until she passed out. And lest you think this might be just a he said, she said, police later found that video on Jesse Mack Butler's phone. So that's what we call evidence. Jesse Butler pleaded not guilty to everything, as was his right off the bat. But in the coming months, for reasons that I will not pretend tonight to understand, the DA's office struck a deal with Butler's lawyers to change his status from adult to youthful offender. The victim's families begged the DA, please do not do that. Please, no.
You heard it here. Youthful offender. Youthful offender. Well, if he was so youthful, somebody should be paying for this, right? Correct? And the funny thing about Oklahoma is, and don't get me wrong, I love my state, we have tort reform, but it's not for kids. It's not for what happens to someone under the age of 18. Okay? The tort reform is only for over 18. If they wanted, and they found an attorney like a John Truscott or someone like that, the Seabolts, they get everything. They get it all.
But in July, a judge decided to sign off on this. And in August, Jesse Mack Butler changed his plea from not guilty to no contest, meaning he knew there was ample evidence to convict him. And you should know that a conviction is the result of a no contest plea, right? That's what you get, convicted. By the way, I mentioned there were 10 counts before. But by August, there was one more. So the grand tally now stood at 11. The new count was for violating a protective order, which, oh my God, facing 10 felony counts and violating a protective order should have been a hell of a red flag for anybody, somebody. But the very same day that happened, Butler was sentenced to 78 years in prison, which sounds like a fitting punishment for somebody who nearly kills 2 teenage girls and rapes them repeatedly with all sorts of things. But as a youthful offender, Jesse Mack Butler was also entitled to special treatment, like a rehabilitation plan, which was drawn up by the Oklahoma Office of Juvenile Affairs.
The Oklahoma Office of Juvenile Affairs. All right, Payne had said I replied to the event that I would be there and I'll email this afternoon. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'll give you my cell phone number and we'll do a little group text with Shonda. Yes, we will. Just Me said the families were warned not to go near him or else. They don't want any vigilante justice. That's for sure. You keep him safe. Now, I bet they did want to kill him when they did their victims impact statement. And him and his mom, his dad didn't say anything. They were chuckling at them, calling them pathetic as they walked out of the courthouse. Janaka, you're right. Rehab won't do crap for a kid like him. Waste of time. Waste of time.
And that plan was presented to the court last week. This new punishment called for daily check-ins, weekly counseling, a curfew, no social media, and 150 hours of community service. Bam! They really brought down the hammer, huh? 150! Oh, that's like 3 weeks if you work really hard. This new plan is scheduled to stay in effect until Jesse Mack Butler turns 19. And that, my friends, is less than a year from now. So, wow, long punishment.
Okay. What do you think Jesse's going to do once he turns 19 and knows all of this is in the rearview mirror for him? Think he's going to be a good boy and start going to the door with roses and opening the car door? No. He's going to be more enraged, my friends. He's going to be more enraged. Okay?
He was sentenced to nearly 80 years behind bars. But now this Oklahoma teenage baseball prodigy is avoiding prison altogether, and his victims' loved ones say the justice system failed them. Brooke Taylor is following the story. She's live in Dallas. Brooke, tell us all about it. How did it happen?
Hi, John. Yeah, we spoke to the mother of one of the victims who says that their heart is just broken here, and the family feels like there is really just zero justice in this case because the suspect avoided jail time and he was able to essentially just walk free. Jesse Butler here, he is now 18 years old. He was originally charged as an adult in March. He pled no contest to a laundry list of violent sex charges, including first-degree rape, domestic assault, battery by strangulation, and also a violation of a protective order. Now, according to police affidavit,
anyone around the Muskogee area, please know that there is a rumor that once all this is over, Jesse is going to go to Bacone College as a walk-on to play baseball. Okay? Here's today's breaking news, which is a rumor that I believe, considering the source has never done me wrong before. Word on the streets, not the YouTube streets, the Oklahoma streets, is that he is going to do. He's going to do a walk-on at Bacone College once all this is behind him and he can leave the house. Shonda said he's still actively looking for hookups. The only thing he learned in this situation is how not to get caught. Sad thing is he got caught, but what he's not going to learn this time is that next time he will be an adult. And going down to Muskogee, he's got a whole new pond to fish in. Hey, Shonda, if you're on Twitter, I've never used the Twitter. Not the Twitter, what's it called? The Tinder. See if you can find him. You have to change your age, though, okay?
Davids. Both victims were 16-year-old students also at Stillwater High School in Oklahoma, and they were his girlfriends at the time. They described being repeatedly raped and strangled. The details in these court documents are extremely disturbing here. Butler was 17 when these crimes happened and reached a deal with the district attorney's office that had his status changed from adult to youthful offender. Now, the court found him guilty and sentenced him to 78 years in prison. But because he's now considered a youthful offender, he got to avoid prison time and was put on a rehabilitation plan. The victim's family says the DA's office should not have signed off on this deal, but this is a small town. Football runs the show, and the families point to Butler's father's influence because he's the former director of football operations at Oklahoma State University. Now, the mother of one of the victims told me, quote, "This was the first time we needed the justice system. We placed our trust in it. Sadly, we feel the system has failed the victims."
They have. They have. My understanding is that the mothers of the girls are not doing good. They're not doing good. And I don't blame them. Because as a mama, you want to be there for your baby. And when you find out something like that happened and it's out of your control, they're not doing good, my friends. And that breaks my heart. Worse than the whole situation.
State Representative J.G. Humphrey is now calling for an investigation.
We need an investigation into what's actually going on and get evidence to prove that this court is corrupt and that they are letting sex offenders go.
And we asked the Payne County DA why they agreed to this plea deal. They shared a lengthy statement in part, quote, "Because the 2 counts of attempted rape were the only alleged crimes among the 11 charged that even qualified the case for filing in adult court. And additionally, existing law strongly favors providing offenders under 18 an opportunity for rehabilitation." Now, Butler is going to have daily check-ins. He's also going to have weekly therapy sessions in order to avoid that jail time. But if he violates anything, then he could be reclassified as an adult and could face that prison time. John.
All right, guys. I'm not surprised by this. And honestly, the only people I see surprised by this type of shit are the people that believe and trust in the justice system that we have at present moment. This is a slap in the face of not just the victims' families and the victims, but everybody that has went through some type of forceful domestic violence under sexual pretenses. Did you hear the charges he was brought up on? 11 charges total. He violated the protection order after being charged with this stuff. So he should have went right to jail to do those 78 years. But it didn't go down like that. Why? Because his existence, his life, existence vicariously through his father's success is what saved him. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Let's keep it real. Somebody said this in the comment. I did this video last time. This ain't shocking to me. Because a lot of times when people get arrested, they look into their background of what makes people do what. And they also, what also has to do with the sentencing is will this person repeat this again after being exposed? And I think they put that in the consideration with this guy, which came out to be true. His dad's a successful football coach. Worked at Oklahoma State University. That's a big job in Stillwater. And they shot him bail just because of who his daddy was. That's bullshit. If this guy, like somebody said in the comment section last week when I did this video.
Okay, I'm going to start with Tainted, then I'm going to go to Shonda, then to the rest of you. When you first heard about the slap on the wrist, did you immediately think his dad or his mom have got to be affiliated with Oklahoma State University? I think it's one of the first things I said. Now I'm asking everybody that's not from Oklahoma. What was the first thing you thought? First thing you thought when you heard about this slap on the wrist?
If this dude, what's his name? Jesse Butler was black, or he was white trash, deemed white trash or undesirable, he wouldn't have got no goddamn break. We know that for a fact. Yet and still, this guy.
You kidding me? There's white kids that are serving for having a small amount of pot in that state, in that town. There's a guy that went to jail for driving his motorcycle on the sidewalk. Tainted said, sorry for my uncouthness. You came to the right place, girlfriend.
Destroyed the psyche of two young ladies that came across his path for his own sick pleasure and desires. They said one of these counts, because the one girl is the one that got it the worst. You know what I'm saying? One of these counts, he choked the girl so bad she needed surgery. Then it says one of his crimes up here is forcible oral sodomy and also 3 counts of rape by instrumentation. And I'm going to focus on those 2. This boy is 17 years old when he did this, right? Where do you think he learned to be like that from? You notice they said they banned him from being on social media?
Where did he learn that? Either he is a closet homosexual and cannot tell his dad because his dad runs that house with a heavy, heavy, heavy fist. Kimberly, what she said just went ding, 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 ding. He said, does his dad treat his mom that way?
What's his name? Jesse Butler was black, or he was white trash, deemed white trash or undesirable, he wouldn't have got no goddamn break. We know that for a fact. Yet and still, this guy destroyed the psyche of 2 young ladies that came across his path for his own sick pleasure and desires. They said one of these counts, because the one girl is the one that got it the worst. You know what I'm saying? One of these counts, he choked the girl so bad she needed surgery. Then it says one of his crimes up here is forcible oral sodomy and also 3 counts of rape by instrumentation. And I'm going to focus on those 2. This boy is 17 years old when he did this, right? Where do you think he learned to be like that from? You notice they said they banned him from being on social media? I'm more than sure he got a porn addiction, like a lot of other young people out here that you see doing some of the craziest crimes. Young people exposing themselves to elderly women and all of this other stuff. Women jogging, people jumping out of the bushes, putting their dick on them, doing stupid stuff, choking them. That's another thing, that BDSM type of adult material. These kids are watching that and getting, they curious and they want to try it. A lot of them get turned on from it because they have a sadistic nature themselves that they are dying to get out.
Okay, before we get back to it, did everybody like the video? Mine. You can like Steve's as well. If you're not a member, please consider being a member. And I don't ask for these things, well, actually ever, because I don't really get down with this stuff. But if you could mark on this Facebook page that you are interested, obviously you're not going to go like Kat's in the United Kingdom. Susan's in Missouri. Put on there, interested. Ange is interested. Frank is interested. You can be interested and not go. Tainted has become a new YouTube member. Look at her. She can sit with us for sure. Look at that. Wanda's interested. Kimberly, I know you're interested. Where's Jinbug? She's interested. Doesn't mean you're going, but you interested. And I will be live streaming it. Well, you better believe it. I'll have on my makeup and everything.
That's real. I'm more than sure he's a porn actor. That's why he said you can't be on social media no more. I mean, you can't be on the internet. Crazy stuff. I would cut him no damn break. At 17 years old, you are a promising baseball prospect, rest of your life ahead of you, and you throwing it away. More than sure your dad spoke to you about the importance of doing good in life, following behind his example. Sports is big in your house. Yet and still, you used your status or the status of your daddy to feel you was untouchable while touching others. I don't know any man that will sit back and just take this. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm as even keel as they come, or at least I try to be. But seeing my daughter grow up and you want to see your children do well like his father wanted to see him do well, only to have this guy take advantage of her, both from his masculinity, because he got some size on him. Them girls they showed was small. And he forcing himself on women, you know what I'm saying? Raping them, choking them, all this type of stuff. All to empty his nutsack, when all you got to do is go in the bathroom and jerk off in shame, and you still be free. But then again, they gave him the work release. Now watch this. When they asked him why they did it,
it's not even a work release. It's not even a work release. He's going to counseling. It's not even a work release. Outdoorsy Life is going to be interested. Look at this. Now, I'll be there. Tainted will be there. Shonda will be there. We can probably get Melanie. Melanie will drive up.
Those in power. Oh, well, being that he was under 18, we think all children should have a chance to be rehabilitated. How do you rehabilitate somebody that likes doing that? What he saw in his life that got him to where he is, he can't unsee. That's like saying, hey, if you like a favorite food or you like a favorite activity, you can't do it no more. A lot of times that crushes people. And they sneak and find a way to do it.
Not Jesse.
This whole thing did not help him at all. It caused problems. Next time, and there will be a next time with this type of dude that does this type of stuff, it's going to be bad on somebody. So basically, they freed this guy up for future victim of people. Look at this. This video didn't tell it, but the other video, he strangled the girl. Remember he said he had the video on his thing? He told the girl, I want to know how it is to choke somebody out. We heard that before in other videos.
He still has a phone. He can't be rehabilitated. Don't you think for a minute he didn't show some of those videos to his buddies? Look what she's into. Look what she's into. Look what I can get him to do. This investigation should have been much deeper than what it was. Because you have a sexual sadist. Okay? If he was on my son's football team or my son's baseball team, we'd be having a long talk. Not that my son would be in trouble, but did he show you anything? Did he say anything? Like, I want to know what my child has been exposed to. And I have a feeling there was a lot of those conversations going on.
Videos by younger people doing crazy stuff, and he choked her as hard as he could with the video on her to see until she passed out. I'm more than sure you could only guess what he did with that video. Probably went home, you know what I mean? It's about power. His father's powerful. You know what I'm saying? To an extent. These people right here, they well off. Now I'm going to show you something. Look at the picture right here. That's this day in court. He's sitting up there with the Kool Moe Dee glasses. Y'all, back in the day, in the hip hop era, you know who Kool Moe Dee was? He got the glasses on.
He got the Kool Moe Dee glasses on. Sorry, there's nothing funny about that, but just the way you said it. Look at him there in the corner. He got the Kool Moe Dee glasses on.
See the girl standing next to him with her hands folded looking mean at the camera? That's his sister. She's sitting up there upset because people are taking pictures of him or looking at him. She's standing like, we stand united.
Hold on, baby. We got another Okie. Queen Bee, welcome. She said, born and raised in Stilly. I'm absolutely ashamed to admit that I'm a resident. No, girl, this is not on you. This situation is absolutely despicable. Now, we have made us another friend. I'm going to put this in here. You probably already know about it. I'm only about 40 minutes away, Queen Bee. If you want to hit interested or going, either way. And here is my email. Because I'm going to be live streaming it December 8th. Stock Market Steve's had it too, and he's not from here.
I mean, it's about power. His father's powerful. You know what I'm saying? To an extent. These people right here, they well off. Now I'm going to show you something. Look at the picture right here. That's this day in court. He's sitting up there with the Kool Moe Dee glasses. Y'all, back in the day, in the hip hop era, you know who Kool Moe Dee was. He got the glasses on. See the girl standing next to him with her hands folded looking mean at the camera? That's his sister. She's sitting up there upset because people are taking pictures of him or looking at him. She's standing like, we stand united with him. You ain't one of them women or young women he did that to. And you have no sympathy for them at all because you're selfish. And you see the other woman there, that's his mother. She ain't looking at the camera. The other girl, she's standing there in the front, looking mean. That shit don't scare no goddamn body. You need to be ashamed of your fucking self. I'm going to tell you something. If he was my son, he'd be out in the fucking street. As soon as they gave him that break, you know what I'm saying? You got to get out my house, fam. But daddy, shut the fuck up. Get out. Start the packing. And if his mom had anything to say about it, she'd get a boot in her ass and she'd go right with him. They could be partners and hobos at the same goddamn time. So I'm going to tell you something about being a parent. If you put the best in your children and make sacrifices, because be honest, being a parent is about making sacrifices. It's about doing what you don't want to do a lot of times so you can reap the benefits and do what you have to do. They turn 18, they go out there on their own. And then, only then, you know what type of human being you raise. But when they're hellions in the house and it brings shame on you and everything else you've been trying to build to get them established and productive human beings, fuck that. Got to go. Beat it. That is bullshit. And it's horrifying. These people never got they didn't even get a chance to see the J in justice. And he said the justice system's corrupt. No, the justice system likes money and it favors people for favors later. When he violated that protection order, that was the end of him. He was supposed to go up the river, but he cut him a break. This is the justice system that we deal with nowadays. We don't nothing move but the money. And regardless of how bad things are, they always got a comeback or an excuse to try to, or like someone.
Queen, you are so right. A third victim has come out. I really hope she presses charges. I really hope she comes out to the point where they charge it separately. But there's others. There's others in that school. Yes, ma'am. There are others in that school. And it's sad. It is sad. It is sad. It is sick.
Type of rational excuse to say why they're giving somebody else a second chance after they didn't give a second chance to the person, or a chance for the person to decide whether they wanted to be a part of these 6 sadistic games or not. That's the problem I have.
Queen's all over it. She said the fact that his mother has witnessed, heard, etc., the stuff she's done to these victims, she should be charged. She should be charged. She was in the house. She was in the next room. She was in the next room. Payne had said if the third presses charges, the case can be reopened for new review. Yes, yes. Now, let me ask you all a question. What is your answer? Would you blame the third victim for not saying a word after what happened to her 2 friends? I hope she does. I hope she comes forward and I hope she presses charges and it's a brand new case against him. What's your I can't say that I'd blame her, but I hope she does. I hope she does.
To try to, or like some type of rational excuse to say why they're giving somebody else a second chance after they didn't give a second chance to the person, or a chance for the person to decide whether they wanted to be a part of these 6 sadistic games or not. That's the problem I have. If any of those 2 girls was related to that judge or his people, I guarantee you the outcome would be different. That's the thing. Stuff don't affect us until it affects us personally. Then when it affects you, everybody's a rallying cry that this should never happen. I'm going to try to stop this. I'm going to this. Oh, shut up. All life is important. These women, besides the sick crime that was, committed against them, these young ladies, they're emotional heals that will never, scars that will never heal. Don't you think about that? I don't know how it is to be invaded, have my body invaded like that by force. And most men don't. And that's why, they said, and this is the part that cracked me up. They said, oh, only one of those offenses, right?
You are so right, Queen. You are so right. You are so right. His mom has been in the forefront. His mom takes him with the cool MOD glasses. His mom is there when he gets arrested. His dad is in the background greasing the wheels to make sure their family name is not tainted. Well, guess what? Everybody knows you. Everybody knows you. And if this was my son, he'd be in the panhandle of Oklahoma right now. He'd be on the other side of Guyman, working at a pig farm for the next year, under supervision. I wouldn't want to see his damn face.
Was really at 18 serious enough to go to prison? Let me guess, that was the rape. So basically, attempted rape, rape by instrumentation, 3 counts of that, sexual battery, forced oral sodomy, and domestic assault and battery by strangulation and domestic assault and battery are all misdemeanors?
Yeah, really.
Who you think we fooling here?
Yeah.
This is the bullshit, y'all. This is the bullshit. Depending on what state you have, it's different degrees of the same crime and how it affects the victim, according to people that have nothing to do with it. Just let that sink in for a second. Just think about it. America's fucked up. And what's fucked up is this guy still gets to live his life, and these women, or young women, some of them have scars, both emotionally and physically, that they have to deal with. That's sad.
It is sad. Again, that stock market, Steve, go give him a like, give him a sub. He's an awesome guy. I'm going to send this to him because I'd like him to continue with it. I'd like for other people to continue with it, or at least start with it. That's a hard thing to get done, but hey, we've done worse. Hold on. Queen said, got the judge looking like a linebacker for football. Yeah. Nasty bitch. Let me tell you something right now. If that happened to one of her girls or granddaughters, it wouldn't go that way. And they weren't expecting this. They were not expecting this.
Case 2 News has been following for months now a Stillwater teen who pleaded no contest to 10 rape charges.
Susan, that's the Erin Christie I'm talking about. That's the one that gets in people's faces and everything. She's kind of like the Nancy Grace of Tulsa. She needs to be there.
Jesse Butler walked away with no prison time, and his community is not having it. Steph Manchin listened to protesters who say the justice system has failed again.
No justice, no peace. We're done. We're done not saying anything. We're done allowing rapists to walk free. We're done seeing the people in charge allowing this to happen.
Susan, where are the kids got to go? Countless voices echoed through Stillwater Wednesday. Their message loud and clear. About 100 protesters, mostly women, demanding justice in a case that's rocked their community.
You know what's really sad? Just from the outside looking in. His mom is mortified. His dad is pissed. He wants all these women round up. He does. He wants them arrested and put in jail for disturbing the peace. Jesse thinks it's funny. Jesse thinks this is funny.
No peace. Nancy Janae Irving held her sign high. It reads, no contest, no consequence. For her, this fight is personal.
As a, victim myself, I believe that women have the right to, to stand up for themselves and justice to be served, honestly. And none of these girls are getting the justice that they deserve.
Jesse Butler, a Stillwater teen, pleaded no contest to 10 rape-related charges. His community left in an uproar. Not only for Butler's victims, but for the lack of repercussions.
Butler faced a 78-year prison term that would have been about 10 years behind bars if he served them concurrently. But because of a deal struck between the prosecution and the defense, Butler won't serve any prison time at all.
The plea deal is it's not okay. It's not enough for him. It's not enough. It's a severe trauma that he's inflicted on these women. And for him to get a slap on the wrist, it's not okay. It just tells us that our justice system is so backwards.
For Stillwater native Adeline Smith, the attention on this case is surprising, but the outcome is not.
The DA and the assistant DA have such a history of either not filing charges against survivors or just allowing the rapists to walk free. I know that because I filed my case here when I was 17 and she wouldn't even file my charges. And I see that it's become a pattern, and enough is enough. And it's time for us to come together and say something.
No peace. No justice. No peace. It's a pattern Smith and everyone else here hopes ends now. Reporting in Stillwater, Steph Manchin, 2 News, Oklahoma.
V has a commonly asked question, will these protests and the public outrage change the sentence? No. If other victims come forward, yes. Yes. When Justin Humphrey gets the grand jury, things will change, but it won't undo the sentence. The only other thing I can think of is they need to impeach that judge. I did hear, but I need someone local to confirm it, that she is up for re-election in November. I don't want to get into your politics, your D, your R, your independent, your Tea Party, your libertarian. I could care less. Get that bitch out of there. Get that bitch out of there. Just get her out of there. Justin Humphrey, like I said, I don't care about your R. I don't care about your D. I don't care about all that. Keep him in office. Come on. The ones that are working, we got to keep them, okay? Now, I do like all the different memes about Mark Wayne Mullins. Those are pretty funny, but he's doing a good job. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Shonda's in Noble County. Well, you can't help the judge, Shonda, but thanks for participating. All right. We're going to continue talking about this. Remember, we have some new people in here. I have a feeling I know where y'all are from. I can tell. Your twang comes through the text. That's right. So we're going to continue talking about this. And if you're new here, remember, we're live every morning, 9 a.m. Central Time. Sometimes it's the same case we talked about the day before, but normally it's a different case every day. But, Jesse, Messy Jesse, your name is on the tip of my tongue. And if I was you, I'd be very, very worried. Not about me, but about people way up there, way above my pay grade that are using words like impeach the judge, bringing together a grand jury, Senate caucus to look into what happened in that county. See, things me, my microphone, and my iMac can't do, baby. So you need to enjoy what you can do right now because it's about to be over. All right, y'all have a great rest of your Friday. And I do have a doctor's appointment Monday morning, so the show will be at noon on Monday, or noon or 1, okay? I'm going to be dragging Jody Sue Brown again. All right, love you guys lots. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Stay in touch. Bye.